A little more front. Now you're, no. Right there. Yeah, there you go.
You always call Larry.
So off we go.
Make sure mics are on and you pull them close because
Yeah.
you're
Those
not,
close.
you're not be able, you can't hear things.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. First things first, let's talk about the YMCA. They are going to be increasing their prices. We sent you an email on that. We also sent the MOU to you to be signed if you guys agree that we would still like to continue offering that as a benefit. Now, for you two new commissioners, the YMCA membership is totally paid for by each employee who signs up, and it's voluntary. The only thing that we do is that we promote the YMCA membership and we deduct it from their paychecks. The benefit is that the new members are forgiven the enrollment fee, which I believe is $60, and then it's a sort of a reduced rate then every month, and then we deduct it from the pay. But the prices are going up as of May 1, and thank goodness they gave us plenty of time so that we can start the process. And anyone who is currently a member should have received from the Y the information that the price is going up. But what we try to do is we try to inform our employees that this is happening and offer them the opportunity that if they do not want to continue their membership, that they can cancel it. So that's kind of the backstory, what we do with this membership. And so we just need for you guys to decide if this is something that you would like us to continue to promote and offer for all of our employees. And if so, there is the MOU to be signed by us, and then we will pass it back to the Y for their signature, and then we will get a signed copy, a finalized copy.
It'll just be a signature by the president.
Yeah. And it's pretty much standard every year. I don't think it's changed. Other than
Thanks
the
for
past.
remembering. Yeah.
I'm fine with it, Jim.
The only question I have is, this being new, is with the increase, is it the money there, is the budget?
We don't fund it.
We do not fund it.
Not paid for
It's
by us at all.
each employee,
Oh, I
it's
see.
them, it's themselves. The county does
I
not
probably-
put anything
yeah.
toward the membership.
And then-
Although, if that is something you'd like to do in the future, let's keep that in mind. So,
Okay.
It's payroll deduction.
Oh, okay.
That's something we were involved.
I would so move that we continue this, knowing that there will be a price increase. That's my motion.
Make a second.
Okay, motion and a second on the floor. Are there any additional comments from the commissioners or the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same. Motion carries.
I apologize, I did read that.
no,
I guess
no
my
problem
brain's
at all.
Still on cold.
Nope, hey, that's, I get it, I get it. The next thing is IPEP, our work comp carrier. We have a report as of December 31st. They're usually a couple weeks later. And currently, we have 4 closed claims. One was from the Highway Department. We had one from the jail, one from the sheriff's office, and then one from the clerk's office. So those are closed. We do have others that are still open. We have one from the jail, and then we have 4 from the sheriff's office. And the way that I'm kind of separating that, the sheriff's office are deputies who are out on the road. So we have 4 open claims for deputies who are out on the road, and then we have 1 for community corrections. And so still, I will bet at our safety committee meeting at the end of the month, I think that we will still get a good report from IPEP and insurance trustees about what we have going on. And just to remind you, you know, between the jail and the sheriff's office, they have the bulk of the claims, but then again, they have the bulk of the risks. So, and they do try to work through what the risks are, try to make any changes that they possibly can. They are to look at each claim to see, okay, how could we not have the same claim come up again? But, you know, when you're dealing with, you know, the situations that they have, it's just hard. It's just really hard. You have individuals at the jail who really don't want to be there, and they really don't care what they do to an officer. You have people on the road that, you know, you've got a suspect that's resisting arrest. You have a dog that is not pleased that you are on their property, and they are supposed to be, you know, protecting their property. They don't know a sheriff's deputy from, you know, somebody else. So anyway, that's just kind of the update on those. Another thing that we have, you know, we have been talking about is the wellness event. Let's go back to that. And sent you information a few times on the wellness event. We now have prices. The pricing is the same as last year. What a pleasant surprise after talking with Parkview. And there was discussion last time from Commissioner Dooley about perhaps bumping up from the green package, lab package 2, perhaps the diamond lab package, which is, you know, would be an increase from $43 per person to $68 per person. It may, you know, it would give our employee, or I should say the member, more information about their health, and also give the county more aggregate information about what we can do to help our employees get healthier and send out educational and marketing information. So anyway, I did not bring the MOU because there are so many boxes to check, and we didn't know which way you guys were going to go. So open for discussion.
Okay. Commissioners?
Well, I think we should bump it up just because the amount of testing that's increased will be a lot better for the employees. What was it, the green package? Is that the original?
Yeah, that was the basic green
Basic
package.
passage. I mean, it just does blood sugar and a few other things, while the diamond package does more of cancer screenings and everything else that can come along that would be way more beneficial to the employee. So that's just my thoughts on that.
Hey, Jim?
Well, anything we can do to lower our cost in the long run is certainly favorable, not only to the county, but especially to the employee. If we can find cancer screening early, we know that success rate goes up quite a bit compared to the basic package. So as long as we can afford it, I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, for the men, and you know, if we can encourage more men to participate in this, it gives the member their PSA numbers.
I assume the PSA is included in the diamond?
It is.
Yes.
Yep, it is. So
That's-
for males over 55, and also anyone who has a history,
Okay,
history.
I would entertain a motion then to bump it up to the diamond package.
I'd make the motion to increase our health fair package from the green to the diamond.
Second.
A motion is second on the floor. Any additional comments, commissioners? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, well, I will complete the MOU and then forward it over or bring a hard copy over when I come back later this morning. And then that way we can get it taken care of. We have the date scheduled for toward the end of March. So hopefully the weather will be halfway decent. And, and we will really try to, as we have done in the past, really market it. I am assuming that we will want to stay with the same thing where it is any county employee to be able to participate and any county employee's spouse who is on the health plan. That's what we have, that's what the county has paid for in the past.
Okay.
So
And we're talking 300.
we've had, last year we had 50 people sign up.
But overall, if everybody participates.
Potentially, yeah. Wouldn't that be great? That would be an awesome morning if we had
right.
that going. So
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see what we can do to get that, get more people to do this, especially since a lot more information available to our members. So I think that's great. Yeah. Let's see, Morgan, why don't we talk a little bit about what we have with recruiting going on?
We are looking for a full-time dispatcher at Central Communications. And we're actively doing interviews for a second deputy in the recorder's office. We're also accepting applications for a transfer deputy in the auditor's office. And the sheriff is looking for another road deputy as well. And the prosecutor did hire another attorney, but I'm not sure if he still needs another one yet, so we're going to talk to him about that today.
Okay. These replacements, I assume.
Yeah, Don retired. Don retired, and then he was already looking for one before he retired, so.
Okay. Okay. Any questions, Council, Commissioners?
Well, an update on the security for the 9th Street Annex. We have had a sheriff's officer come through the building after 4:30. I'm usually there after 4:30. I usually see him coming through, knocking on the doors, opening things. So we're very happy about that. We have also observed the same officer coming through midday. So we're not going to be upset about that at all, considering, the population that we have coming in that building. And it's just nice to have a presence. So the only other thing that I have is something, House Bill 1110 that is going through the House right now. It's a ban on gratuities for public officials. We do have something in our employee handbook about this sort of thing, but the basic is it makes it a Class A misdemeanor for a person to offer a payment to a public servant as a reward for an official act taken by that public servant, or a public servant to solicit or accept a payment as a reward for an official act performed by that public servant. It increases the penalty to a level 6 felony if the fair market value of the reward is at least $750. Now, there are exemptions. A good or service that is subject to a reporting requirement or otherwise authorized by an applicable rule or a code of ethics. A good or service with a value of less than $100. Commemorative or ceremonial items such as plaques or trophies or framed photos, and 4, lawful political contributions, and 5, wages and other forms of work-related compensation from the government entity employing that public servant that the public servant is legally permitted to receive. So, to be continued. As you guys know, there are lots of bills going through, right now, all kinds of things. I do try to keep my finger on the pulse of all of that, just in case it affects anything that we need to know for our employees, and that is probably one of the ones, but I think we pretty much have it taken care of in our employee handbook. So anyway, that's what we have going on, and what do you guys have for us?
Code walk back to your office.
Yeah,
that's all.
thanks. We'll be back.
We could show you or something, but that'd be about it.
Get my hat on.
There you got your hat. All right, I think we're all good.
Okay, great.
you-
Thanks
you,
a bunch.
Dottie. Stay warm. That's possible. Okay, let's move on to some topics. Payroll.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll.
A motion second to approve payroll. Any other comments, discussion? All those in favor of approving payroll signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same. Payroll is approved. Claims. A chance to check over the claims?
I did, I have a couple questions,
Fair
just for
enough.
clarification. Harper Funeral Home, soldier burial, $500. Does the townships take care of this?
No, not that I'm aware of. We have, there's a county ordinance that it comes through, we've always paid it through the auditor's office.
Yeah, we've always paid it.
Being on the township board for, when we had a person that lived in our township,
Uh-huh.
it was the township's
Maybe,
which,
come to the mic. I was gonna say, it might have maybe there's a little difference on, I don't know. We've always received them in our office, so I didn't know.
What's that?
The papers from the funeral home and stuff to pay for the veteran.
in the township, we always paid it.
I wonder if it's in addition to.
So that's why I was surprised to see it come through the county, because, again, to my knowledge, it's always been wherever the person is, that's the township's responsibility.
And where the veterans are concerned, there might be something supplemental
Veteran.
to the,
I understand, but I didn't.
I don't know if there's an ordinance years ago or something
There,
that put in
yeah,
to
I'll look
support
up
the
the
veterans.
ordinance.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't have a problem paying it, I just,
Right.
for clarification, because all these years, it's,
Yeah. Well, Jody said maybe it's like in addition to, maybe it's a combination of
oh,
township and,
well, and
Ours.
that, $500, typically, it's, I think, last we paid in Smithfield was $1,200 per cremation. So,
And that was recently bumped up.
Yeah.
It
that was bumped up within probably, what, the last 5 years or so? I think you were on commissioners when Rhonda requested the increase, so.
Yeah,
I'll look it up, but we have
yeah,
always
we can
paid
get the clarification
this part
on
of it.
that. Yeah,
just for clarification.
Not a problem.
yeah.
Second one, and I think I know the answer, but just again, for my clarification.
Yes.
The commissioners, the incentive for Dutch Heritage.
Yep, that was the holiday gift certificates that the commissioners provided to the county employees.
Okay,
So it was last year's, but we don't pay it until this year.
Christmas,
The
for Christmas, the pie.
oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was, but again,
And it won't affect this year's budget because I had the invoice, so I encumbered the money that was budgeted for that in '24. I encumbered that to '25 to cover that.
only two questions.
Okay. Motion?
So moved to accept the presented.
I'll second.
A motion second on the floor. Any other comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed. Motion carries. Claims are approved. Okay, we got 2 sets of minutes.
Did you guys see the updated minutes?
Yes.
Did you check that?
Morning,
It was last
Last night.
evening.
Yeah.
last night.
I just added in with the PETA board in parentheses that Suzanne Drew-Davis was okay with waiving the motions for the political party and the assessor level requirement. That was all I added.
No, I hadn't seen it, but I'm all right.
She had it up earlier, but I just wanted to put it down in that section because that's where it actually mattered, so. Yep, then I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Are you doing both dates?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, a motion and second to approve the minutes for January 3rd and January 6th. Any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed. The minutes are approved. Okay. Let's go on to miscellaneous topics. The raised letter of support. You have that, Susan?
Yeah, this is just to do the official. Rick had talked to all of you guys about this,
Yeah,
but this
this
is just so we officially have it in
Oakwood
your
Lodge.
Yep.
Trail.
minutes.
We want an official motion and second on that. Even though it's signed, we'll go ahead and put it in the records.
So move we accept the letter of support as presented for the Pokebach Visionary Trail Planning.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Comments? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? I have signed.
First set of documents.
Let's move on really quick here to the acknowledgement of the Emergency Management 2024 Annual Report. I assume Jason wasn't coming in on that. It was just,
No, we normally, he provides it. Most of the departments, if they have an annual report, they just send it and we
Yeah.
acknowledge for the minutes for both you and
you
council.
get a chance to read that report?
Yes.
Yes.
We then make a motion to accept it.
Yep.
Make a motion to accept the report.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? And now we're doing reports, we might as well keep cruising here.
Sounds
Acknowledgement,
good to me. I like the idea of cruising. So, I like the idea of cruising. Cruise, you know.
Yep.
Couldn't resist that one.
okay, acknowledgement of Public Defender 2024 Annual Report. Everybody get a chance to read that?
I did. So move to approve, so move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion is approved. We got a couple minutes. Surveyor logo. Let's get this out of our hair.
Okay. I just provided information. I didn't know if you wanted anything official for a decision in the minutes, because they had requested to put the logo on clothing, which I gave you the information as to why we can't do that. But I also didn't know if you wanted to officially approve their logo they're suggesting.
Thoughts?
I mean, we can approve it, but it's their logo. If they're happy with it, you know, I don't know. Do we really need a motion? I mean,
It seems like each, the surveyor's an elected office, so each elected office, I suppose, could have their own logo because they're an elected office and can control,
Yeah.
you know, certain things like that.
Correct.
And they're gonna need to pay for it, out
Yeah.
of pocket, right?
The
If
employees, right?
if they're wanting it on clothing, they need to buy that clothing themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. We can't provide.
We went down a big rabbit hole, and that's why I provided so much information, because it is very time-consuming and costly to even track it and figure out who the item belongs to and get it taxed to them for a fringe benefit and all of that.
I agree, I don't think we need the logo. I mean, it's appropriate for that office, if they want to use that, what I saw of it, and is there nothing we need to do? Yeah, okay,
Sounds good.
yeah,
Yep.
just keep it simple. Kimberly? Okay,
Do you want to introduce yourself? How about her?
blue.
Okay.
Your light on the mic.
Newly elected president of the DeKalb County Council on Aging. Kimberly Teagarden is the transportation director for our association. We have had a couple of changes in the last quarter. Janice Brown and Tracy Bell are no longer with us in the organization. We have Danielle Kaiser, who has taken over as transportation coordinator. Has everyone got a copy of this and have read it?
Yes,
I
I
don't want to insult your
provided it.
intelligence by going over
You're
each and every piece of it. If you have any questions on it, I'd be open to answer anything that you might have.
any questions, commissioners?
I only had one comment.
Yes, sir.
It's mostly funded by the federal government. Are you guys keeping an eye on what's going to happen with the new administration? and the funding
We
there?
will be constantly looking at because we want to maintain that funding. It's a really great program for this county and the people that we work with. So we will be watching it. Kimberly is excellent at maintaining the numbers and making sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to be working. I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing in this council. as well as the building side that runs the Council on Aging. The people that we have running in the transportation, we have a great group of people that work tirelessly to make sure that this program works above and beyond. So if that answers your question.
Yeah, I was just, with the new administration looking to make cuts everywhere, and you guys are mostly funded by the federal government, I just want to make sure you guys, I just was kind of curious to see if you guys are paying attention.
Oh, we're paying attention, absolutely. Any other questions?
I don't think so. I see a good portion that does come from the federal government,
Yes, sir.
over half,
Yes, sir.
a little bit over half.
When we made the changes to our administrative structure, we made sure that that was in keeping with the rules of DOT, IDOT, all the people that is in charge. They all were fine with the leadership and the organization and the structure that we provided to them.
Okay.
Thank you for the report. I appreciate it.
Okay, so there is a invoice that they have to submit that you guys have to motion and approve so that Bill can sign it and they can
That's the,
submit their
that's the
report.
fourth quarter invoice.
Yes.
Make a motion to accept the fourth quarter motion.
I will second it.
A motion and a second. Any additional comments from the commissioners? Comments from the public? We'll sign in the blue ink.
Blue ink, yes.
I also appreciate the fact that you're going to be coming to our open house. That's at the end of the month. What's the date on that, remember? February 27th. I believe the mayor of Auburn, hoping that most of the leadership in the county will be there so that we can demonstrate our fine organization to you. And thank you for your time.
Hey, Warren.
Do you have a time on that? Okay, thank you.
Bill, I don't think we ever voted on that.
No, you just have a motion and a second.
Vote on that, Bill.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry about that. Opposed?
Yeah, they get their original.
Yeah. Thank you.
Would you make sure that the whole council gets the invite so that the other council members can
Yes.
be there?
Yep.
Okay. Larry, you want to get you in and out of here?
She's making a copy and we'll get you the original. And then you're all set. Look at you killing trees.
This is a service contract, 2 quotes for all of our generators. And the last page, I marked down the difference between the prices on what Everpar and Williams Electric is. The one thing I needed to talk to you guys about, Williams Electric asked me the last time that the generators were load banked, where they come in with a piece of equipment and make sure that the generators are putting out the power that they're supposed to be putting out. I know the jail has been done, but I do not believe any of the other ones have been. for quite a while.
Really?
So, in talking to Williams, his comment was the bigger generators for like central dispatch, community corrections, the jail, those should be done once a year because those are like important.
Load tested, in
Yeah,
other words.
load tested, yeah. So if you look at Williams Electric, in their quote, they have in their price, they have a price for doing load banks on each one of the units. I would suggest that since I don't know the last time they've been done. As far as I know, none of them have been done since they've been put in. So we probably ought to have them all tested, I would think, especially like the health department, if that would go down in a situation with all the drugs that they have in their
I'm sorry, this is over my head. What are you saying needs done?
Load bank,
load bank.
Load?
LOAD.
Load.
Is that like electric load testing on the
Yes.
generator?
Yes, they test the generator to make sure it's putting out enough power as what it's supposed to do to support what it needs to for the building to run. And when Williams Electric quoted the price to me, they quoted coming out 4 times a year. Right now, we have them, Everpar's coming out 2 times a year. I believe 2 times a year is plenty enough because we do, once a month, we go out and we check all of our generators, fuel, oil, and leaks and all that kind of stuff. So basically, when they do that, there are other tests, that's what they do. They just stop by and make sure everything's running right and everything's okay. So we do that every month right now. So I just wanted to get your opinion on what you think on doing the load test on all of the generators. It's going to be quite an expense, but I think it's necessary to make sure these generators are running right. And then after we do this, then we'll follow up and do it on a regular basis. He said the smaller ones that we have, they could be done every 3 years. But the bigger ones and the ones that are what I would call important should be done once a year.
I assume, well, I'm sure they load tested the new one at the courthouse when they
Yes, they
installed
did.
it, and the new
Yes,
one
they
at the
did.
highway.
Yes,
There's probably 2 that we could eliminate
yeah,
on this first test.
yeah.
Well,
So
I think
it would just basically be the existing ones that,
Yeah, the older ones.
yeah.
So, just so I understand, was there not an agreement in previous years to have them load tested? Or did somebody not follow through in their contract?
It never was mentioned. Everpar never quoted us or never said that they should be done. And I found out about it and he goes, oh, this should be done. So,
What's these numbers to the right here? They don't match up with what's on this.
okay.
I'm a little confused there.
The Williams, okay, this is for a load bank test, a primary service, which is oil change and checking everything like that. And then they quoted us coming out three more times just to check everything, make sure everything's running, everything's okay. Which that 3 times we only do, right now we're only doing it once. So basically, they're saying they would come out 4 times a year. Right now, we're just doing it 2 times a year. But we do, the maintenance department, we go out once a month and check everything. We do a check on fuel, oil, leaks, and,
This quote's based on 4 times.
yeah,
That's with Williams.
yeah, yeah. And what I put here on the side, I made what it would cost us if it was just what Everpar's quoting us.
Okay, so it's the that times.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's why I was
yeah.
confused, because the numbers here and Williams
Yeah.
and here aren't matching, so, okay.
I just wanted to show you guys what the difference was, what it would be between the two, if we just did to the 2 times a year.
And is the courthouse, I don't see it as a location on here with the new one,
Well, since it's new, it wasn't on Evapar's service
and so this agreement's only for a year?
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what fund does this come out of, Susan? Would this come out of his, would it-
County General.
county general? Okay.
Preference?
I'm gonna leave it up to the expert of which one, I mean, the one's significant cheaper. If you're comfortable with Williams, then that's who I'd go with.
Yeah. I wasn't, they are the ones that hooked up the generator here, and I got to talk to their service tech that was here, and he impressed me.
If you're comfortable with them.
His knowledge was pretty good. And
You think, Jim?
If you're, I mean, yeah, I want it to be apples to apples, and
Yeah.
if you feel that, you know, the lower number there sounds like
Yeah.
that would be acceptable,
yeah,
there's no reason to go with a higher number.
yeah. And I guess I wanted to see what your feelings were on the load bank test. Do you think, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it probably should be done
Yes,
personally.
Yes. Any idea what that would cost?
It is,
there.
it's on this quote.
It is on that quote.
Yeah, with Williams, like,
Courthouse is 500, which we wouldn't do, the community corrections is 1,084.
Okay.
No, wait, I'm sorry, that's
yeah.
15, that's 513, I'm sorry.
yeah,
They moved it around on me there. Roughly about $600, $500 to $600
yeah, per generator.
You see where it's at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion? You want to go with Williams with the stipulation that they test all but the courthouse and highway? Is that what we need to do?
And I don't think we'll do the jail, they're
Just-
supposed to be getting a new one, right? A new generator?
I don't believe so. At the jail?
Yeah, I thought they were getting a new one.
I don't think
No?
so.
Okay,
I think they were looking into it.
We looked at it. We
But I'm
looked
not
at it when
sure.
we was discussing the courthouse
Oh, yeah.
generator. Getting one that would run both, either or getting the one just for the courthouse. And we decided, if we got one, as long as the jail one is functioning okay, not to buy one because we could not take it out to the new jail. It wouldn't be big enough.
well, they talked to me about who did ours and stuff like that. They were gonna get pricing on it or something. That's why I thought they were getting a new one. Or,
Well, not to my knowledge.
You guys
Okay.
previously discussed it, but
I
okay,
think it might have been one of their items in their list of things they needed when they
Long list.
provided that long list when they
Okay.
had ARPA dollars and things like that. It might have been. I haven't heard anything about it recently.
but I know theirs has been done recently, because they've had some work done to it, and they had
Right.
it
We
done.
had a problem with the pump
Yeah.
and so forth.
And they had it load tested then, so
Yeah.
it,
No, I think
it it will not be needed for them.
Okay. Let's
Okay,
do the,
so we're accepting out the load test on courthouse?
No,
No.
The,
Annex Building, Health Department, Sunny Meadows, Community Corrections, and 911 Communications, Dispatch,
Central
We're-
Dispatch,
Central Dispatch, yeah.
We're doing them or not doing them?
doing those.
doing those.
And you
We-
were
we
saying
haven't
you're
made the motion.
Testing out the.
Okay, I'm with you.
The,
I was saying the ones that we were not doing.
Oh,
We are
okay.
accepting out of the,
Oh, courthouse
Okay.
is out, jail is out, and
Highway,
highway.
yeah, there
Okay.
you go.
got it.
So the only one on this list really is the jail. Removed
Yes.
from this list.
Yes.
Correct.
But this list doesn't do the load, isn't the,
Right, but,
okay.
yeah.
Right. Okay, motion,
I make
Wait, quick question.
Yes.
In this, are you also, this is the one that has the 4 times coming out?
Yes,
So are you,
I'm going to have them quote us back to coming out twice a year instead of 4 times a
so
year.
do you want that in your motion?
Or do we just want to wait for that to come back with the load and just
No,
do
we
it all
just-
once?
we can do it all at once. We can wait.
Why don't we wait till 2 weeks? Can they have it redone in 2 weeks?
Yes,
So
Yeah,
the
let's
jail's
do that.
removed and
Let's do
we
that.
have
yes.
And
the numbers between the two that
Yeah,
show,
we'll just do that, make it much easier for Susan.
yeah, instead of making the stipulations.
Okay,
Sounds good.
we just table it.
okay. I will take care of that. Anything else while I'm here?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yep. All right, thank you, sir. Well,
Okay, moving on down. Miscellaneous topics. Resolution 2025-R-1, tax sale certificate reassignment. What we got, Susan?
Okay, so was it Don Stuckey?
Donald Stuckey
Yes.
reached out to me, and then I reached out to Susan about getting it for, what was it?
Town of Ashley, yes. The Town of Ashley is requesting that 3 certificates be reassigned to them because they've been on tax sale forever. It's an old gas station, so it's got contaminants and it's got tanks and stuff underground. They've done their first phase
Yeah, Phase 1
Whatever,
environmental study,
yeah.
and they've got grant money or something for brownfields.
for the next, but it needs to be, they need to be the owners to receive that grant money, is be in their name. So there's like 6 months to get this all accomplished. If you reassign today, then the redemption period, if they're going to redeem, is 120 days, so it would all fall into line with what they need. And in doing this, then I learned that we're supposed to have this resolution to do these, so now we have one.
And I've reviewed the resolution, and it seems fine.
So all 3 of them are on the same property, Susan? All 3, okay.
Yes, it's all, yeah.
It's all like connected together.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this thing is set there forever.
yeah.
I'm fine. Yeah, if they
Yeah,
got
it
some
needs
grant
to
money to
get
take care
moved.
of it.
There's no reason for us to retain it,
Nobody's going to want that liability unless it's been cleansed through the brownfield program.
and they got a chance to get it cleaned up.
For it,
Motion?
I would make a motion to accept the resolution 2025-R-1 for the sales tax certificate reassignment as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second on the floor. Any additional comments, commissioners? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion carries. Good to have that taken care of. Okay. Moving on. Baymont innkeeper's complaint. What do we got?
I wasn't sure if we needed to discuss anything. Andrew had sent the first draft of the document.
think you guys had approved me preparing the complaint. As the attorney for the county, I can sign it. And I would be comfortable doing that because we know they owe the money.
I had one question just in reading it. I didn't know if we needed to include anything in it about all of the bad checks that were written to us when trying to fulfill.
So do we have a policy on what the bad check charges are? Because I could add a paragraph in saying, if we could figure out if Teresa could get us a number
The
of bad
treasurer,
checks.
actually, the treasurer
do
would
that.
have that.
Okay, so I'll make a note to add that in as another paragraph. If there's a bad check charge of $25 or $30 or whatever it would be.
Because they eventually made them right, but can't tell you how many of the checks they submitted that were
Oh, there were a
bad.
number of them,
Yeah.
yes.
I just thought it might, I don't know, add it in.
Anything that we can legitimately add in, I mean, it's not fair what they put the county through, so. I'll email, what is it, Joni, right?
Yeah, she'll be in, they'll be in later. Yeah, we can ask them.
We need anything else on that then?
I think they've already approved me filing suit, so.
Correct.
I just
Yeah.
wanted you to be aware, and so we'll
Okay.
try to probably end up filing suit here in the next couple of days.
FYI.
Okay.
Yep.
Trailer title signature for auction.
Real quick, Bill, did the investigator ever get the notes over to Neil? Do we know?
That I don't know. Whatever I had emailed you guys a week or two ago
Yeah.
was the most update that I've gotten from him.
Okay.
I try to be careful in my communication with him in the sense of, state police detective, let them do things on their time within reason.
Okay.
But I can reach out again if you want me to.
Yeah, just to see what's kind of going on, because he said we're going to have it end of the week, and it's been 2 weeks, so.
Okay, yeah, I'll do an email and
Appreciate it.
reach out to him.
Okay, we have a trailer. Needs to go to auction.
Yes, I provided the little email. Chief Rice explained that it's got some damage and it's just really not suitable for their hauling and storing their gator anymore, and they were going to get a newer, lighter one. But this part of it, this is titled to the commissioners, which the new one will have to be also. So we need to sign off on the trailer so they can sell it on govdeals.com.
Okay, I was wondering whether you're going to sell it.
Yep,
We need a motion for that.
Yes.
for the president to sign
Yeah.
off the title.
Make a motion for the president to sign the title over to be auctioned.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other comments? Commissioners, public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, we are getting close to the end of the list, but we're going to need some time on this next one.
Real quick before I know we're going to wait to do that appointments, but did we ever Susan ever reach back out about the Auburn ETJ?
I believe she's going to be here. No?
I haven't gotten anything. I didn't know if
Chris
you
can
guys.
answer.
Susan had a dental surgery last week, so she's not feeling good today, so she's not going to be here. She did reach out to Susan Mag, lives in Bear Creek Pass. She's interested in being on the Plan Commission for the ETJ appointment to Auburn. So if that's that's our recommendation is Susan Mag for that appointment. So if you want to do that today, you can.
Bill, can we just do that one real quick since?
What was the name?
Susan Mag, M-A-A-G,
MAG?
M-A-A-G, 2 A's.
Here, if we just do that one, so that way it's
Yeah, we can do
done.
that. We could do that.
I'll make a motion to appoint Susan Mag to the Auburn ETJ.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any additional comments from the commissioners? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay. Steve Corrender, Surf Internet, you are up. Did I pronounce that right? Close enough.
Your light on? On the mic, is your light on?
There it is.
Okay.
We also have been pursuing the Indiana Connectivity Program, which is also a rural broadband development program through the state of Indiana, administered by the Office of Community and Rural Affairs. Right now, we are in the process of applying for BEAD, which is the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program, which is bringing $868 million into Indiana. And SURF is applying in DeKalb, Whitley, Elkhart, multiple counties throughout the state. In DeKalb, I'm here today to ask for a letter of support, which we've drafted, and I presented to Susan last week. The letter of support would just be an attestation to the commissioners' support for our efforts to bring broadband through the BEAD program. This program for BEAD brings connectivity to 1,142 additional addresses at a minimum in the county, predominantly located in the southeastern portion of the county and the northwestern portion of the county. Those are the areas where there were BEAD eligible addresses. It's an $8.8 million project, of which SURF will match at minimum 25% of that project cost. So as part of our application, expressions of local support from elected leaders is an essential scoring portion of that. And so I've drafted that letter to.
I have just one question. Are we allowed to do letters of support for other companies if they come, or is it just a?
Yes, it's non-exclusive, so
Okay.
if anyone else approaches you. I've already talked to Ligtel and Noble County RMC, Steuben County RMC, and Auburn Essential Services, as well as Lakeland Internet, to just see where everybody's going. And then we also have, it's all based on census blocks. So we have census blocks that abut each of the adjoining counties. So we're trying to figure out how we're not going to have companies build fiber on both sides of the road. Basically, doesn't make much sense in a rural area.
One question I had.
Any guesstimate on when these projects would be completed, say the Northwest?
At the earliest, I'm being very optimistic here. At the earliest, by the end of 2025.
2025.
Yeah, most likely, just because of the back and forth contract negotiations, probably 2026. I think I've shown in my brief presentation, we already have construction underway for the next level connections grants. So we're building a pathway from Waterloo to Butler, and then down to St. Joe, and then further into Spencerville, and then Spencer Township, a larger area.
Okay. Other questions?
Just one quick comment. The Drainage Board in DeKalb counties, we've had issues with, and I appreciate that SURF has come to the Drainage Board and been up front, and we've worked through that. And as far as I know, I've received no complaints from the surveyor's office, so.
Good, good.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear positive things, and anyway, I appreciate, because some of the internet companies have not done, they've done the work ahead of time, so thank you very much for that.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. And, as far as restoration, if we're digging today, it's not, any field issues for drainage are not going to show up for several months. So we're fully committed to restoration.
Thank you.
Okay, you have the copy of the letter, Susan?
Now Bill just signs that, or is it all of us?
All three.
I put all you on there.
Multiple different individuals can sign a letter. Right?
We need a motion?
Yes.
Should have one.
Yeah.
I would so move we accept this letter that endorses Surf Internet's application for broadband equity access and deployment, the BEAD grant program as presented.
I'll second.
A motion and second on the floor. Are additional comments by the commissioners? Comments by the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We will sign.
Appreciate it. I'll keep everyone updated as things progress.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Do you want the original, or do you want me to email it? How would you like
If you
it?
send me an attachment, that will be fun. Appreciate
Sure
it.
will. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Susan? Well, that was way quicker than
That was quick.
we anticipated. So,
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot longer.
we've got one more thing on the miscellaneous topics, and that is appointments. So I guess we can just go ahead and clean that up. Commissioners? Where do you want to start?
To the Waterloo Library. Waterloo Library, easy one. We had a recommendation from that, correct?
Yes, the director submitted Tony Werner. She had sent a letter because previously it was Mr. Klink, and it was discovered that he doesn't actually live in Grant Township. So this is Tony Werner, and it will be a full 4-year term.
I'll make the motion to appoint Tony Werner to the Waterloo Library Board.
A motion and a second. Additional comments by the commissioners or the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries.
We can do the DCC board, the county seat. So I talked to Amy Dembski last night. She does want to be back on that board. So I'm willing to nominate Amy Dembski to be on the DeKalb County Community Corrections Board.
Well,
We looked into this,
I
it
had,
says the county has to appoint the council person. It's weird. You would think the council would appoint the person from them. Yeah. Yeah, but this statute, I've looked at it a couple times and it says that.
I talked to her, she said it was fine, you guys said it was fine, so. In future, I think we need to have a little communication, yeah.
I only happened to look into it after because I saw a note in something that Jan had that it had to be clarified 4 years ago. So that's why I started looking into it, and it did say that.
It doesn't make any sense why the legislature did that, because you're an elected body, you should be able to choose your own member, but they don't in that one. So it is what it is.
is that by state statute?
Yes. Yep.
Really, we all three questioned it because it doesn't make any sense.
So it sounds like they're kind of deferring to what the council wants anyway, so.
All right,
Did we vote on it?
we did not vote on it.
Say
We need to make a vote on it.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Didn't we make?
You have a motion and a second.
Okay. A motion and second. Comments from any other comments? Public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carries.
Then I can do the Council on Aging. I talked to Josh Armstrong. He'd be willing to step onto that board. So I'm willing to nominate Josh Armstrong for the Council of Aging.
So move to accept.
Okay.
Second.
You're good.
A motion and a second to Council on Aging, Josh Armstrong. Any additional comments? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 The Board of Zoning Appeals, I talked to Mr. Wayne Funk, who has been on the County Plan Commission before. He's been on the Garrett School Board for many years, been involved in the public. And I would like to make a motion to present Mr. Wayne Funk on the Board of Zoning Appeals, so we have somebody on the west side of the county to represent that area.
I'll second that motion. I sat down with him yesterday and had a good conversation.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additional comments? I do have one comment. I had wanted to nominate Brent Warfield, but seeing how it's been a motion and a second, I will withdraw that. So, any other comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on. You ever get the health department figured out?
No. I believe there's a couple more seats now that have to be done. And Cheryl, they're waiting for information from the mayor and from somebody else. So she said she would not have any of the information ready for today.
Okay.
Doctors also. You have two, I think 2 spots on that, Susan, now?
We now have, okay, this is what it says. We now have 3 people that will need to be replaced on our board. The mayor can submit 3 recommendations to the commissioners to replace Tanya's position. And Dr. Souter has been talking to the mayor about that. She says that she spoke with Janice about her work and explained that she volunteers as a nurse consultant. And she said their board will send a name to the commissioners for approval to replace her. And Dr. Dirksen is now planning to retire in March. So the board will submit another name to the commissioners to replace him.
So who's the
3.
third one then?
Janice.
Oh, Janus, okay. And they're going to send us recommendations for all 3 spots then?
Yes.
Moving on. We do the Auburn Territory jurisdiction.
Nah,
Yeah, we did that.
we
That's
did
what
that
Chris
one.
did.
That leaves us the redevelopment commission, I believe.
Well, I'm sure like the 2 of you, I've received a lot of emails, and I certainly support putting somebody from the east side of the county on that board. I would make a motion to appoint Leon Sturry, who's president of the East Side School District, and is currently on the board as a non-voting member. And part of my motion would be to move him from non-voting to voting. Since he's already on the board, he understands that board. It only makes sense to me to move him to a voting position. So that's my motion.
Are those 2 boards both lucrative offices? For the Article 9 of the, huh?
He's already on the board as a non-voting member. He's trying to move him over to the voting part.
Voting, okay. I was just going to say, I mean, I think there's an issue with potentially two different, being on 2 different boards.
It's not 2 different boards.
Oh, it's not 2 different boards,
It's
okay.
one board. Yeah, 5
Gotcha,
voting.
he's not on a different board, he's already on the board. Okay.
Is he on the school board?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up.
President of the school
Yeah,
board.
that's what I meant. School board would be a potential lucrative office, and this, if they get paid, would be a lucrative office.
And he is currently on the RDA because he is the president of the school board, I believe. That's how he gets there and is a non-voting member. So if
So
you
that would be
move him,
okay, 'cause
you got to
that's by
put a different.
Yeah,
I think check the who has to be on there.
The school board
Because
member.
somehow that school board
It's a school
position is because of the TIF district and all the regulations behind it.
So
From what I
moving him-
understand is
yeah.
the school board that has the majority affected by the TIF, the school board has the non-voting member representation.
okay. So
Did you
that,
talk to Leon about moving him over?
No, yes, well, by text, but
so then somebody else would have to be appointed by the school board, I guess, to be,
If we go forward with that.
if you do that. But I'm just suggesting, then he would become a voting member and a paid member of both boards.
RDC is not paid.
Oh, RDC is not paid. There you go.
No.
It's not lucrative office then.
I don't know if.
I thought it
school-
was paid.
Is
yeah,
school
and-
board paid?
school board, yes.
Okay. RDC is not.
Okay, there, that makes it not a lucrative office.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? No second? Motion dies for lack of a second. Entertain additional motions?
Are we separating these one at a time?
Yes.
Okay. So I got the emails just as much as you guys did. There was 32 emails roughly that we got from the east side requesting and some demanding representation. Mr. Hartman here, Mayor Hartman's here. He did send us a 3 names to consider along with a letter from, was it 25? Someone come to the mic and, it's okay. And make sure it's on, please.
Yeah, good morning. Mayor Hartman, City Butler. Yeah, I did send in 25 signed, I don't think, petition, an agreement trying to get equal representation on the RDC on the east side. It ranged from me to our clerk treasurer, to all 5 of our city council members signed it, our police, fire chief, Concord Fire Chief, Spencerville Fire Chief, Town Clerk of St. Joe, Town Board President of St. Joe, 2 other members from the St. Joe Town Board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 township trustees on the east side, taxpayer from Spencerville, and superintendent from our school, also school board member. So we did cover a big area of different segments within the community. So, like the letter stated, just looking for equal representation on the east side. Feel we've been neglected over the years, and it's time that we get our due diligence and get someone appointed on that side to represent us. And the 3 resumes that I ended up sending yesterday, I think would be 3 good candidates. Good background on all 3 of them. But I just think the 3 resumes speak for themselves.
Okay.
So I was able to speak with all 3 of them yesterday. Had great conversations with them. They were very enthusiastic about joining, but there's only 1 spot for them. So I'm going to nominate Justin Reining, is that right? Reining? For the nomination for one of the spots on.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? I will second. Any additional comments? Public?
My comment is that I'm sure these are 3 well-qualified individuals, but apparently my internet's not as good. I did not receive them till late yesterday afternoon. And I felt like with the holiday, I wasn't going to bother the people. So I feel uncomfortable. And again, I have nothing against it, but I don't know them. I've not had time to talk to them, to research them. So I feel uncomfortable making a recommendation from one of those 3 at this time.
Would you want some more time? Do you want me to pull the motions?
Well, the problem is that the redevelopment commission is going to have to meet very soon before our next meeting in 2 weeks, because they have to do their work. And if we wait another 2 weeks, there's funds that are in jeopardy.
I understand. Yeah, I was just wondering if you wanted to not.
Yeah, I would like more time.
Because I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, so.
Well, I understand.
We're going to move ahead with this, and I take the recommendations of Mayor Hartman and the people that he had to sign that document very seriously, and that's, I don't know them either, but reading the resume and what they've recommended, I'm good with that, so.
And I understand, but
And-
as a former school board member, I can look at that piece of paper and think, yeah, this is the right person, but until, I've learned my lesson that until I actually talk to them and ask some questions that I have, the mistakes were made on DeKalb Central School Board, and when I was a member, that we thought it was the right person, and it wasn't. So that's my thought process, is making a recommendation that is this important. I just need more time, but I understand that the time is of the essence for the redevelopment board as well.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Opposed?
You weren't taking any comments from the public on that motion as
I
you
did
have
ask
on
for
every other?
comments. I did ask for comments.
Not from the public?
You do not.
I thought I did. Comment?
Lynn Reinhardt, 4224 County Road 71. I guess I don't know who the three people are, so I don't have any problem with them. But as far as what Jim talked about and them having a meeting prior to your next meeting, that was the same case 2 weeks ago when you made a decision to table both of your reappointments. Mr. Cruz's research showed at that time that they would not be in jeopardy of meeting, that the current board members would still be sitting on that board until their replacement was named. So I just thought it should be made aware of that. Mr. Cruz can substantiate that if he wishes.
I think I recall that, yeah. Yep, I recall, I haven't looked at that.
Thank you.
Additional comments from the public? You want to revote?
No, I don't.
We're good? Okay.
I would just make one comment to Mayor Hartman. In the future, if you give us a little more time, that would be really appreciated. So that way we can, any more recommendations that come. So I do really appreciate the list and the recommendations.
I will say, I did send that out Friday, but, and after reviewing it yesterday, I realized that the resumes never went through, but the 25 signature pages. So you guys did receive the signature pages on Friday, correct? So
I believe so, yeah, but we didn't have any names,
I'd have to
so.
go back and look. I don't remember
Yeah,
seeing
it was sent out to all three of you. I mean,
Yeah.
there's would have
I
been B.
got it.
Hartman, J. Miller, K. Dooley, so they was all sent out. So, and sometimes I've got some city council members that struggle to look at their emails daily, and when you're in that position, and commissioners and everything, you need to look at that daily. But yeah, and you know, back to what Jim was saying, chance to review that, but I really think we on the east side did the homework for you three. Yeah, you wanted to have a say in it, but to me, you're just three says. You've got 25 here that says these three that we recommended are who we want. I'm not saying that we're not gonna agree with someone else that you might put in there, but we've done our homework. We ask that you respect our homework. Do what's best for you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay.
In the future,
we've got
if you
one more.
include your correspondence with them to me, I send them weekly emails for their meetings that everything would be getting to them ahead of time.
Yeah, good point, Susan. Always include Susan in your emails to the commissioners. She is our secretary, and she keeps us on track. We're enjoying it.
Bye.
Yes, good job. Okay, we got one more position to fill.
So the other position, I felt like the east side needed representation on the board, and I also think public safety should be on a position on that board too, just because of the new way the laws are now that they can use it for public safety. And so with that being said, I have Doug Castater from the Fire Chief of Garrett. He comes recommended from Kirby, the Waterloo Chief, and Ron from Butler have sent letters of recommendation or phone calls to me asking support for him to be on the board. So I would make the recommendation for Doug Castater to be on the RDC. That was my motion.
That was the
correct?
motion. Do I have a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Additional comments from the commissioners? Comments from the public?
Well, you had a comment.
I do have a comment that, from my understanding, that he needs to realize, and we need to realize, that when it comes up to a vote, he will have to abstain when it comes to monies for.
That would be standard procedure.
Right.
Yeah, and I mentioned that to him.
Yeah,
That'd be
well, and
standard.
I did too.
Yeah, so.
So, but still, I will second that motion.
Comments from the public?
Lynn Reinhardt, 4224 County Road 71. Along that line, I was just curious if Ron Mostetler, fire chief from the Wilmington, or Butler Wilmington Fire Territory, if he was approached, if he had any interest.
He's one that recommended Doug. He supported Doug Castader as that. He wrote me an email saying that that's who he would like to have in that position.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Good question, though, Lynn.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Oh, yes, sir.
Sorry about that, Mayor Hartman again. Yeah, Ron, we did discuss Ron, but we felt that somebody from the west side of the county would be a good representation. And like Kellen said, in the public fire service as well, we felt good that if they went towards the west side and approached the fire chief there versus our fire chief from the east side being on there. We're willing to spread around a little bit, you know, we don't need everything on one basket, so.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, ready for a vote? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. We're all done except for one, and that's on hold, right?
The what one?
There's Cheryl.
The health,
The health.
she's here for something else, but yeah, the health appointments aren't
Got a wrap on that?
Except for the health board.
yes.
Except the health board.
Yep.
We have now 3.
Okay, it's in the list. Does anybody have anything else miscellaneous? Off the list, beyond the list? Given that, let's take a break, do the pledge, and
I do want to, I think before I questioned whether or not Andrew Provines is qualified to sit on the BZA. And I think there's a disagreement between between all of us as to whether or not he's qualified, because he is an appointment of the mayor of Butler to the as the city planner. And the qualifications within the state law says that a person that's an appointment by one of the cities cannot be on the BZA for the county. So I think since there is a disagreement, and I don't believe that Andrew has been able to solve the disagreement, Andrew, is there a place where we can go to solve the question? I mean, if he's qualified, fine, I don't have a problem with it. But if he's not, and we're questioned later after a decision is made by the BZA, then I think that decision would be void. So I think we need to have it clarified as to whether or not he is qualified.
You want me to speak on that then?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I did about 2 hours of research, tried to do, that's what you'd informally call a deep dive into it, to try to research everything out that I reasonably could. I did find a case that said, which is a good thing, that if somebody happened to be on the BZA that shouldn't be, that it does not invalidate every decision that they made. I found a case in my research saying that, so that's good, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't deal with the issue. And it, you know, I actually found, so the Indiana Constitution, I pulled it up here, it's section 9 of the Indiana Constitution. Very rare that we get to go straight to a constitution and constitutional section to deal with this. No person holding a lucrative office or appointment under the United States or under this state is eligible to a seat in the General Assembly, but this one, and no person may hold more than one lucrative office at the same time. Now, the two terms that are key there are lucrative an office. The BZA gets paid for its meetings, maybe $70 or something, but I think the way I read the cases, if it's, even $20 a meeting or something small, it's still called lucrative. He's obviously getting paid as city planner for that job, so that's lucrative. The key issue then is office. The BZA seems to be clearly an office. The question is city planner more like an employee of the town or more like an appointed office? And I found one case that was right on point. I think it was an Indiana Supreme Court case. The problem with that case is that the Supreme Court said whoever was complaining about it, a citizen out in the public, didn't have what's called standing, didn't have a right to make the claim that the person wasn't supposed to be on that board. And so even though it was a perfect case, great layup shot for the Supreme Court to tell us what should happen in this case, they didn't. They booted it back and never decided the issue. The issue of whether or not city planner is an appointed office or just an employee of the town seems to come down to, under the cases, the idea of whether or not the mayor's elected position is delegating some of his power to the city planner to make calls and decisions. And the statutes mention, I believe, police chief maybe, fire chief, and maybe one or two offices, but it doesn't say city planner. So, everything is kind of revolving around answering this issue, but doesn't directly answer, is it more like an elective office or an appointed office, or is it just an employee, moving paperwork from side to side?
Mayor Hartman, can you shed some light?
Yeah, the only two positions I appoint, City of Butler's fire chief, police chief. Every other position is a hired position. And the city planner is a part-time position. So when I go in to hire, whether it's city planner, or it's the IT specialist, street superintendent, wastewater superintendent, water superintendent, I have a couple people that go through the interview process. So we go through and do the process, and we hire this individual. We as a team do not appoint anybody. We don't have the authority to appoint anybody as a team. The only two appointees are the fire chief and the police chief.
So that kind of answers perhaps the question of, is this an appointed office or just a hired employee? That makes it sound like a hired employee. The only other question I had when I looked at the Butler website was, is the city planner a part of the Butler BZA as far as for voting member?
We don't even have a BZA right now. We're in the process of putting together. We've never had a reason to go to the BZA.
So you don't have necessarily an active BZA currently?
No.
Okay.
They have a hearing officer for the Board of Zoning Appeals, which I've been appointed to that hearing officer.
And it's not Andrew Provines?
Right, and it's not Andrew Provines.
Okay.
I'm not an appointed department head. I'm hired by the Plan Commission per our zoning ordinance, so there's no conflict there as well.
Yeah, we have an interlocal.
Right. For that, yes, but the hearing officer was an appointed thing. So they do have a BZA, but it's not, and he is, like me, to the Plan Commission, to the Board of Zoning Appeals, he is staffed to the Plan Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. So I'm not a voting member of the Plan Commission or the BZA, neither is that position.
Well, that kind of explains what
But
I saw.
whoever's in it, just so you are aware of what the roles are.
This past our city council attorney as well, Don Stuck, he's in agreement that it's not an appointed position, it's a hired position.
The only other way to, so that makes sense to me, I guess, that if it's a hired position and not appointed, it seems to me that the office side is for more like appointing somebody instead of just hiring an employee. There is a way you can dig down or get another opinion on it. I found through my research that you can ask the Indiana Attorney General for opinion, and apparently they get a lot of those requests each year, multiple requests each year for them to review that. So that's something I could do to reach out on behalf of the county and just say, hey, given this situation. But that was my biggest question was, is this more like an office or more like just an employee? And from the sounds of what Mayor's telling me, it seems to lean towards the employee side.
Okay. All right, it's time for a break and our pledge. Let's go take care of that and Okay, you're back on the clock.
100% agree.
Cheryl, you are up. What you got for us today? Morning. Make sure that mic's on, Cheryl. Pull it down close.
Is this good? Okay.
Thank you.
You beat Susan to it. She's the one that says that to me.
I've been after them all morning, so they're good.
I'm here today because our vital records registrars found a software that is in the cloud that will allow them to offer more options for people that are trying to buy birth certificates and death certificates. Right now, the only options that we have are for people to fill out a paper application, and we only take cash. So the issue is, we've always wanted to expand and be able to accept credit cards. A lot of people prefer to do that. The other thing is, people that live out of town are having to mail their application in. So you have the mail that you have to deal with, and then it has to be mailed back to them. So this software, the couple things I'll tell you about it. The order that people can do, we'll put a link on the county website. They will go to that link, and then they will fill out an application. And this could be anybody out of the country or people in town. They can fill out the application, and it falls into a dashboard for our girls in the office. They will then pay by credit card, and their identification is vetted through this service. They pay with the credit card, and then they can also say whether they want to pick up the birth certificate in our office, or if they want to have it mailed to them. And then they pay the shipping. There's different options for that. Eventually, the state is getting ready to allow us to print birth certificates from other counties. Previously, we could only print from our county, so our business will start picking up because we'll have more options. The cost of the birth certificate itself is $10. That's what we've been charging for a while. We're planning to charge $1 for shipping, but then they have additional shipping methods that they could pay for if they want it to them sooner. The service itself charges a $5 service fee to the customer. $3 of that comes back to us, and they keep $2. So total for just like a birth certificate, it would be like $16 with normal shipping. So it's very reasonable yet. I said the workload we anticipate will be getting larger. And one of the main things is most people carry a credit card and they don't carry cash. So frequently we would have people that would have to go get cash and bring it back. So this will help them. The fact that they're filling the certificate out online, it immediately drops into our queue. So we've eliminated that mailing time. We can turn around and have it shipped out immediately. So there's a great turnaround time. They can use their card. They have no access. This service has no access to any of the vital records. So when their application comes through to us, the girls will automatically do the regular checking to see if this person is eligible to purchase that birth certificate, making sure that we're following all the guidelines in that regard. Someone can come into the lobby and they can, if they want to pay with a credit card, there'll be a QR code. They would scan that QR code with their phone, fill out their application, and they could choose to pick up their certificate right then, just like usual. Or we have the option, they can still come in and fill out a paper form and just pay cash, as we've always done. So it gives the customers better options to pay, quicker service to get things. People out of the country can also use this service, and the currency is automatically managed by the cloud service. So people all over the world can order their birth certificates and get them sent. So I probably hit a lot of things. Do you have any questions in particular?
Does it do just credit cards? Does it do like Apple Pay or any of the other paying services that are out there now? Or is it just credit cards and cash?
They only do credit cards, and we do cash. So we would just be those two options. There's all kinds of statistics in here about how much people prefer to do stuff online instead of coming in. So we're expecting that to be a plus for people. The service allows them to upload any documents that we need from them. That would be like a driver's license, some type of identification. There could be more, but they have that option. They can do that. We're going to offer to sell them plastic sleeves to put over their certificate. It's only $1 and something that people like. Other than that,
You may have said this, but will they be paying in their fee for the mailing, if you guys are mailing out all these?
that's all included in their fee. When they do their application, they'll be able to check which kind of mailing they want to do, and whatever they choose, that will be added on to their birth certificate fee. So they pay for all the shipping.
So we'll have to figure
Last
out,
week did it.
so is it going to, like, you're going to have something that comes pre-printed, or?
No, I'm sorry. When it hits our dashboard, we pull all the information off. The girls will make sure that they are eligible to get the birth certificate they want. And then we print. We are the only ones that print.
So you'll have to figure out how to get that money from there into your postage account, if you're going to be running all those through through the postage machine.
We don't, oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
see what you're saying. There will be some type of, yeah, we would have to do that. Any other questions?
Any questions, comments?
I think it sounds like a great idea.
The fees again, would you explain that fee?
Okay, we charge right now $10 for our certificate if you come in. There would be an additional shipping fee that they would pay for. The fee would be their choice. And then there is a service fee that is charged to the customer, and that's a $5 fee. And the service gives us $3 of that. And then also they get $2 of it.
They get $2.
Yes, yes.
What's the upfront?
I'm sorry.
What's the upfront cost?
Total?
There is none.
For the contract or per
Yeah, the
person?
contract.
This.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So the startup fee for the first year is $4,600
$4,600.
to set it up. And then every year thereafter, oh no, I'm sorry. The first year also includes onboarding, which
$8,350
Yes.
total subscription and professional services for first year.
Yes.
$750 for the standard implementation and onboarding.
And then thereafter, it would be the 4,600.
After that, 4,600.
So that's
Yeah.
the second year.
Yeah.
$750 top of this.
That's just for the training on the,
Yeah.
How many birth certificates do we print off usually?
is our vital records person. One of them, this is,
Hello. It was approximately, I think, around 200 or more per year. It all varies, but we do a lot of death certificates too for the funeral homes. So if once the state opens up printing for all counties, we plan on seeing a big increase for local funeral homes here. Instead of having to go to Allen County, they'll come here. Especially like Feller and Clark, we do a lot of business with them. So if they could come here instead of Allen County, they're gonna do that. So hopefully that'll.
Does Allen County do it online too, like this?
They go through Vital Check, and Vital Check goes through the state, and they currently have a wait time of 12 to 16 weeks before they are able to print and send out certificates. That's where the permidium is a lot different because it comes through us.
Does the county currently have a contract with Allen County then for that service? I mean, I'm sure Allen County's not doing it for free.
Allen County probably has something, contract through Vital Check. I know Hamilton, and there's another county, I think there's 3 or 4 other counties that do permidium as well that I contacted before we set this up to see how they handled it, how they liked it. And compared to Vital Check, it seemed to be a much better choice due to shipping and their wait time and stuff. So, and Vital Check really doesn't have a good record when you talk to people. They call and sometimes they think that they ordered through us when they ordered through Vital Check, and so they're waiting. And when they hear it's a 12 to 16 week wait, then they have to order through us when they find out that we can send it within a week or 2.
Now, let me get this straight. So you're saying that each transaction, we get $3 back of that $5?
Yes, so, yeah, they'll pay us, we'll get the $3, they'll get 2. We get at the end of the month, they'll give us like a receipt, and they will give us the shipping. They'll write us a check for the shipping, and then we'll have a check deposit. So I don't think we'll need an account, set up a new account or anything like that. We'll just have a check as far as I know.
You won't have to set up a new account, but you'll have to account for more postage in your budget so that you can refill the postage machine.
As of now, I don't know if we use the postage machine that much. We just have stamps. But I don't know, so I don't know. Kathy's usually in charge of that, but
Will this come out of your budget, Cheryl? Yes.
Yes, let me try to rephrase my question. DeKalb County is sending these to Allen County now, is that correct?
no.
No.
The certificates?
We do
No.
them, we just can't offer them to be done paid by credit card, and they can't request them online. They have to come into them and physically do it and pay for it. So this is so that people can initiate all this online and pay for it by a credit card, and get it mailed, or they can still walk in to pick it up.
I understand that, but
Starting
she was
for,
talking about Allen County, and I'm trying to make that connection.
for the state, they passed a law last year that all of Indiana can print, like I could print here in DeKalb County, an Allen County birth certificate or death record.
State has asked us not to because they're not properly set up for it right now. So by January of 2026, they should be set up to where we are able to print, let's say you're born in Allen County, you come into our office and want a birth certificate, we are able to print it then.
Okay.
We're not supposed to right now.
Yeah, okay, now I
So-
understand.
Now we can do it anywhere, so
Yeah.
that's gonna help increase.
Yeah, so right now you just have to go to the county you were born in.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Anything else? Any other questions, comments?
I think it sounds like a great program. I think it'll work really well. I think a lot of people, with my business, I deal with death on a regular basis, and I've always had to tell them you have to go to the county and get your death certificate, because that's always a pain in the butt, to be honest. So this program, I'm gonna push them towards DeKalb then. If this, you guys could get it done in less than 12 to 14 weeks.
Motion?
I make a motion to, what is this called again?
To approve the permidium
Medium
agreement and the president to sign.
agreement and the president to sign.
Second.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments, commissioners? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
There's two places. You can sign and then Bill signs. We'll send it to you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Stay warm.
Okay, so there's two more things for the health department. You might want to stay real quick. There is a contract for grant services. This is renewing the MC squared contract with Mary Claire Clark. So we need to motion and approve that for 2025. And then the other one is there was an addition to the Bowen Center MOU to add family therapy and intakes as services so that it can be funded in the same manner. So we'll need an approval for that as well.
Want to do that real quick? You comfortable with that?
I'll make a motion to accept the new added language to the MOU with the Bowman Center approval. Center.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments, commissioners or public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
The other one is the contract renewal for grant services, correct?
Yep.
Thank you. So I make a motion to approve that contract as presented.
Second.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments by the commissioners, the public?
Cheryl, do you know what the annual amount is for MC squared?
Sorry, I don't.
Okay, because the back page was not included that had the rates on it, so if you could get that to me.
I will.
Okay.
I think it's going to be around, it was going to be around, but I can.
Okay. Well, the hourly rate is on the front of it. It says $80, but not to exceed stated total on each line item, but that line item is not there.
Anything else? Okay, all those in favor?
You're okay with the contract?
Well, I saw the $50 or $80 an hour,
Mhm.
yes, I'm okay with that. Susan brought up a point that
It's just the line item services. This is basically the same thing that we did last year.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
So did you still need me to send something to you?
Yeah, I would like
Okay.
the missing page of this. Yep.
That it? Mr. Parker?
Just be aware of the time,
Yep.
because we have Board of Finance meeting yet before executive session.
We have a scheduled bid opening today for 2 sets of bids, one for the Community Crossings matching grant, and then also for the rebid of item number 8 for professional services for the year. So I will start with the Community Crossings matching grant. I have one bid here from Brooks First Construction. Have a total bid amount of $1,836,711 from Brooks.
Repeat that, please.
What's that?
Can you repeat it?
$1,836,711. I have another bid here from API Construction. I apologize, my ears are a little plugged today. Total bid amount, $1,736,931.
One more time, 173.
6,931.
Thank you.
So those are the 2 bids that we have for community crossings. I'd like if you guys could make a motion to take these under advisement. I'll bring back a recommendation on your, would it be February 3rd meeting?
So make the motion.
Second.
A motion second, additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? 2 weeks, we'll sort it out.
Okay. Then next I have the bids, rebids for professional services. First one here, I don't know who it's from. I'm going to go through and just announce the bidder, who they was from for item 8. I'm not going to read all the line items. If someone has a question, I will answer if someone has a question. There's multiple lines in each bid, so. This one's from Fritch, Fritch Excavating. Have another one for item number 8 from Brooks Construction. That one's for professional services as well, Susan. One from Knott Drainage and Excavation. Item 8, professional services. Bailey Aggregates. Did that. Item number 8, professional services. I see you. I know, I was scooting over. I know how to run you off, don't I? Oh, I see, this one's CBK Enterprises. That one's item number 8, professional services. Pavement Solutions. This one's also item number 8, professional services. So those are the bids we have for professional services. So I'd like to, again, make another recommendation that we take these under advisement. Bring back findings next February 3rd.
So move that we table this and for 2 weeks until we get your recommendation.
We're not tabling, you're making a motion to approve Ben to take them under advisement.
Right. Amend my motion to allow Ben to make his recommendation.
A second.
Motion is second. Comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. What else you got, Ben?
The other thing I had, I just thought of this morning. I don't know if it's something possible we can do. We are in the bidding, we're going to be bid, or did bid out, Bridge 17, on County Road 79, south of 40. Zacharias Construction was the awarded bidder of that. That bid was for $856,000. We appropriated ARPA funds. We had an engineer's estimate 1.4 million last year, so the bid come in quite a bit less than that. My question was, I am working on another bridge that's in design right now. It's Bridge 75. It's on County Road 16. We've got an engineer's estimate, approximately $768,000 to replace that.
Much?
768. I did budget for some of that. I meant to look at my budget before I came. I think we have that budgeted, but it would help our Cume Bridge and Cume Cap Fund for other projects if we could carry over that remaining for what we had planned for Bridge 17 and use towards Bridge 75, if that's allowable or possible. I don't know if the council would have to approve that, or since it was appropriated for a bridge. I just was going to throw the idea out there and with Susan and see if that's something we can do or not.
So with the ending of the ARPA monies that we spent out in the claim adjustments, all of the money that will be paid for Bridge 17 and whatever else you decide is within your lighted budget. So that would just be up to you guys allowing that, and then we pay it right from the lighted.
I think that would be a good way to use it, personally, but comments from, I mean, it's there, it's designated for bridges, whether it's one bridge or a second bridge. And I know the one on 16 you're talking about, just west of 19?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're finishing up the design stages of that right now. Hopes to bid that soon.
Yeah, that's been mentioned several years back, actually. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
No, anything we can do to improve bridges and roads in this county, I'm all for it.
We've got a lot of other expenses going to be coming out of the Cume Bridge and Cume Cap funds here soon. You know, we've got a lot of small structures and bridge repairs.
It's going to be stretched to the limit.
Yes, it is.
Pretty much, so.
Well, that's why I thought of that, and if it was possible, I didn't know if that extra money's already been where it went, so.
It was for bridges. I'm fine keeping it with bridges.
Okay. We need a motion on that.
Or wait till the time of.
Need a motion?
That's up to you guys. I mean, the claims will come through. We have to appropriate for it and stuff. The claims will come through to approve.
It just helps me with mine, where we're going with our funding, and I can just write the claims to come out of that fund. I'll get the fund from Susan, and you guys can approve it.
I
when the
had
claims come
told
through.
one of the girls that asked me, I told them those claims would all need to come to me. They'll have to come to me and I will
For
write
the
it.
ARPA fund.
And for
Or
lighted.
okay,
All of
yes,
them.
Lighted.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Think we're set?
That's what I'll plan on then. That's all I have for you guys today.
All right.
Something else for me.
Get ready, you're cold, and
I'm gonna try.
stay warm, and good luck with that.
All righty, well, thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Yep,
We'll see you in 2 weeks on those other issues, and
yep, I'll bring them back.
good enough,
Sounds good, thank you.
as you always do. Okay. Board of Finance is up next.
Thank you.
Our president was Todd.
I know, I was just going
last
to
year.
ask who, if Todd was the president, who opens the meeting?
Well, who was the vice president?
Mike was. Bill, you're it.
Last man standing apparently gets it.
Yeah, I say, maybe as temporary leader of the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, we'll kick this off. Prior year minutes approval. First on the list. Of course, we have,
Should be the first thing in your packet.
yeah. And that's been a year ago.
Yeah.
You think I remember a year ago? I did actually read it online, and, yeah, as I remember.
You have been there, right?
Right, so we have the same issue that we had before.
Well, I think
Make a motion to,
But you're approving what you read here.
I mean, I think you have to have at least two of you approve it to have a commission meeting.
Yeah.
I think
It's one of those glitches.
practice to only approve minutes that you approve, but I don't think it's a legal requirement. I think
We'll move, we accept the prior year minutes as presented.
I'll second.
All right, motion second on the floor. Comments? Public? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is
Just know
approved.
that should be in the minutes that
neither of you two were.
neither of us, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, election of officers.
I nominate Bill to be the president.
Second.
Afraid of that. No, it's my honor. Okay, additional comments. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, investment policy approval.
Probably vote on the vice president and the secretary.
Okay, we can do that. Vice President.
I'll nominate Jim Miller to be vice president.
I'll second. Any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Secretary.
We'll move,
Usually the treasurer is the
Treasurer's usually-
secretary.
treasurer.
Treasurer's that way. I was like, I don't want to be the secretary.
Well, he'd like to be the treasurer, but he's.
No.
Yep, my apology.
That's okay.
I
That's
should have
okay.
looked at
It's a learning process.
Should have looked at the minutes. So we need to nominate you for treasurer, correct?
For secretary.
Secretary.
Because she is the treasurer.
Jody Humbug.
So should it be secretary / treasurer?
Well,
Two
she's the
separate.
treasurer for the county, but for this meeting, she'll operate as the secretary.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the meeting. Yeah.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? You are your secretary. All right. Now we can go to investment. Yeah. We can do that.
I'll put that in there.
Okay.
Okay, so on the investment policy, I did not change anything on that from the investment policy Sandy had before me. The only change I had, I should say, I did make one slight change, was page 3, item number 3. Previously, it said it would be bid out to all eligible financial institutions located within DeKalb County. I changed it to say a minimum of 3 eligible, because we have a couple eligible institutions, but they don't ever bid or anything. So it's really, we don't get any response from them. So even though it says a minimum of 3, like the last CD, we bid out to 7. So 3 would just be the bare minimum. Other than that, nothing changed in the investment policy.
Make a motion to approve the new updated investment policy.
Second.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It is approved. Next, we have, on my sheet,
Do you have the copy you want
Outstanding.
signed?
Yes.
Okay.
I have notes on mine. Okay.
outstanding checks.
Yes, so these are the checks that are more than 2 years old, so we just need to receipt those back into county general.
So these are checks that were wrote to you guys that you didn't cash?
That we wrote, the county wrote to these individuals.
And they haven't
And they
cashed
haven't cashed them. So after 2 years, that goes back into county general.
Lynn, you
They're
didn't,
considered stale checks.
Lynn, you didn't want your $11?
$11, 16 cents.
Yeah, okay. We need how do we want to word that motion?
You're making a motion to move the outstanding unpaid checks from their accounts into county general.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments, commissioners or public? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how the wording of that would be for it. So.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Put them back in the kitty, and that total is $680.15, just for the record. Okay. 2024 cash and investment report review.
So on this, you'll see that historically, in the past, the county's invested about, the last couple of years, about 2.3 million. Last year, Sandy knew the rates were going to start going down, so she took a look at several different funds and then met with Susan and discussed kind of what the short-term cash flow needs were within those funds. And so she chose to invest more last year to try to lock those in. So she laddered those CDs to lock in and earn the county additional interest on there while the rates were still good. So I've listed out what the CDs that were purchased, at what interest rate, when they'll mature. We have a good majority will be this year. They were just short one-year CDs. And I have plans in April to meet with Susan again to kind of discuss. Not all of those will be repurchased. Some of those were just strictly 1 year to try to maximize the interest earned. And then I've also listed there the cash and depositories as of 12/31 and what the interest rate is for each of those bank accounts. And you'll see those vary drastically. Some, we don't get any interest, no interest from them. But we have our partnerships with our local banks that take our tax payments. So in turn, they're doing a service for the taxpayers. So we don't keep a lot in those accounts other than the tax payments that come in. a majority of county money is kept at Trust Indiana because they pool all the state and government money together. They have no storefront, so they offer a much higher interest rate than our local banks do. So I just kind of listed that out for you so you could see where those stand.
Okay.
Sandra, good job on locking those in.
Yes, she did a great job.
Appreciate that.
So the first CD listed up there already matured, and that was for $1,050,000. We got $92,895.19 interest off that one CD. So that was an 18-month. And we since repurchased on that one, and we got 4.25%. So we did that one for another 24 months. What's that? We cried, yes.
Yeah, because right now it's about 4%, so getting anything above 5 was good. Do we need to make a motion to accept this or anything? Well, okay.
Yeah, so these are more informational. Then the next one gives the interest comparison for the last 3 years. You can see it's gone down a little bit from last year. So in 2023, overall, the county earned little over 3.5 million. This year is a little over 3.3. So still really good from where it had been. In fact, the next page, that breaks it down by the bank, the next page does. The one after that gives a 15-year history of the annual interest earned by the county accounts. So that's really interesting to look back and see where it's been, where it's gone, where.
Yeah.
Don't know where we're going, but.
Looking good. Looking good.
But so, those are just kind of to compare for you guys, so you can see.
This is good stewardship of the county taxpayers' money.
Right, we try to be very aware in our office and move money constantly into accounts that will earn higher interest. We're always, every day, in every bank account, looking at it, because like our operating account changes monthly? Daily, actually, so, right. So,
Okay.
Good job. You ladies are doing a good job.
thank you.
So we need a motion.
Wait, one more page here, the
One more.
kind of stats, achievements and goals. So the top shows you the total excise collected in the county, our investments, the total deposits that flowed through our office, so $157 million flowed through between, that's money being receipted in for other departments, that's ACHs that come from the state, all that kind of stuff. And then our tax collections was $57 million. Then we broke that down on the next chart, so you'll see mail drop box, which is the box outside, or walk-ins accounted for about 53.5% of our tax collections. Escrow, mortgage escrow was about 26.4%, electronic payments, so credit card or online electronic check was 14.7%, and then partner bank, so when someone takes their coupon, they can go in, I think we have 7 branches, they can go in and pay. That accounted for about 5%. And even though they take our payments, it's not less work for our office, it's actually more work because they're just collecting them. Then we have to post all of those payments still and everything. It just makes it nice for taxpayers like in Butler. That Farmers and Merchants in Butler takes a lot of payments for us because the residents on that side of the county don't want to have to come all the way into town. Same thing, Ashley. So we've tried to partner in every surrounding town that we're able to make it convenient for taxpayers.
I see those numbers are running pretty consistent, from 21 up to 24, very consistent.
Right. And then we do like Trex, AFCS, which is our collection agency. We don't get a whole lot through them, but I put the percentage there for them as well. The next little graph is our delinquency rate comparison. You will see that decreased this year drastically. The 6% that's first listed, that was our delinquency rate after fall collections, so the very end of November. Then we ran a delinquent report and decided we were going to send a courtesy letter to everybody that had delinquent taxes, whether it was real estate, mobile homes, or personal property. So that was almost 2,000 parcels. We sent those letters out, and we got 787 payments that totaled around $500,000 in 2 weeks. before the end of the year. So that brought that delinquency rate to 3.7 by the end of the year. So it was a lot of work. Our staff did awesome.
You gonna continue doing that going forward?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we had such a, it started out, everybody was mad that they got a delinquent letter because they don't think they're delinquent. But then we had a lot of people that thanked us and they were very appreciative because they didn't realize they missed their fall. That's a common one to miss. So definitely worth it.
Yeah.
For the little bit of postage costs, I think we had about $960 in postage because we combined as many letters in an envelope as we could. And so for the $960 in postage to get 500,000 back, otherwise, most of those people wouldn't have paid till the spring.
Yeah.
So if at all, they may have went to tax sale.
What is the average delinquency rate, like, the counties around here? Like, because you guys,
you
about
ever
7
looked
to
at-
6 to 7% is what it usually is at.
It would be interesting to see.
Just to see how our county is compared to other counties of, and then send out those letters did a huge decrease, so that's.
It was my party.
Yes, because they went out right before Christmas, so it was our
Christmas
happy
presents.
holidays. Unfortunately, it was just the timing of it. That's the way
It falls.
it falls. We don't like that, but we don't really have another option on that. Next, you'll see the quantities of parcels offered at tax sale for 2024 was 93. It was up from 2023 and 2022, but there were some in there that we had taken some, the county had given some, so they were removed off the list before tax sale. So the numbers were lower the years prior. So I would say it was an average year for tax sale though, really. Especially if you look back 2021 and prior, we were over 130. So the chart to the right of that, the quantity of parcels certified for tax sale, it says personal property and mobile homes sent to collections. So we're doing that process a little different because we sent the courtesy letters out in December. We're now certifying our mobile homes and personal properties in January rather than July. We found out last year at our treasurer's conference we could move that up. In July, there's just so much that falls. We're certifying tax sale, government employees. We just got through settlement. So by doing it in January, it kind of eases up on the chaos in our office. And then when tax bills go out in the end of March or beginning of April, it doesn't have any of that delinquent on there. That's already at the collection agency, so it's clean bills going out. So that gives you those numbers. Our 2024 achievements, Sandy had a goal last year to earn, I believe, 2 million, I think, was what your goal was. So she obviously far exceeded that. Way to go, Sandy.
Yep.
Like I said, lots of hard work on her part of keeping track of everything, projecting what's coming down the pipeline there. We implemented positive pay on all ACH transactions. For those of you that don't know what positive pay is, that's a kind of safety net that the bank offers. We had it on checks. We've had it on checks for several years. So it basically, when the auditor's office issues any checks, we upload those into the bank, and then before they clear, it verifies the name, the amount, the signatures, that nobody washed a check or anything and is fraudulently trying to put those through. Well, they didn't offer it on ACH, and we've been pushing for it, and now they offer it on ACH. So any deposit coming in electronically, any money going out that the auditor's office initiates, all of that has to be approved. Every day we have to get in there and manually approve those transactions to say they're not fraudulent. So you hear of sometimes where people deposit 5 cents in a bank account to see if it goes through so that they can fraudulently take some. We can catch that. So it's just a safety net for the county money. So we're really diligent about that. As I mentioned before, we decreased the delinquency rate by 3.32% from last year. We digitized all our bankruptcy records in our office, which will make that process more efficient. And then we successfully got the rest of our staff trained on settlement, which is a big process, a lot to learn. So they did great with that. Going forward, 2025, I'd like to, being my first year, just become familiar with all the treasurer's roles and everything, all of the duties. I'm thankful Sandy stayed as my chief deputy for this year, so got a great mentor. I want to increase my knowledge of investments. My goal is to earn $2 million of interest, obviously, hopefully more, but I set that as my goal. We want to implement daily balancing of all 12 bank accounts. We've already started with our main operating account, but we want to do it on the rest of the 12 bank accounts. And that is just, we're in our bank accounts every day, but we only balance them the middle of the month and the end of the month. This, we every single day balance them all the way down to the penny. And then, this is a goal for the county that I want them to collect the delinquent innkeeper's tax for Baymont.
We're on it. We're on it.
I want to see that this year, that would be great.
We should be able to file the lawsuit this week.
But I would invite all of you anytime, because I know you two are new, but Bill, you're welcome to anytime to stop in our office. We'd be happy to show you what we do. I know a lot of people think the treasurer's office is only busy twice a year. Not true. We'll gladly show you that every day
Yeah, okay. You just gotta-
there's plenty to do.
Just have to get past the bars, that's all.
The bars. We'll unlock the door for you.
Okay.
Do you have the amounts in dollars that represented the delinquencies? I just have note, last year I just had a note that.
Yeah, I do. Give me 1 second.
2.69.
So I do, but I'm not sure if it's I have the final amount at the lower percentage, not the November one. It was $1,361,843.74.
You say it.
Sure, $1,361,843.74. And that ends up being 1,358 parcels.
Are some of those parcels the ones that Andrew and I were talking about, the ones that we can't find people to?
Yes, those unknowns are included in there. That's any delinquents within the county.
How many parcels was that?
1358.
Okay.
It would also include any that are on our tax sale right now. Or certificate, getting ready to go for certificate sale. It picks up any delinquents.
Okay. Anything else?
So you need to motion and approve the investment review, and then you'll have a separate one to approve the annual report.
I'll make a motion to accept the annual report.
A motion and second on the floor. Any additional comments? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
We'll make a motion to approve the interest revenue person for the last 3 years.
I'll second it.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Do you want to look for next year? Last year, we noted that it was going to be on the 13th, but we didn't meet.
Yeah, do we know what the meeting schedule is going to be? If not, we can wait.
I'll come up with something.
Okay,
Maybe you could say that it's anticipated it would be on the second meeting of the commissioners in January.
yeah,
Yeah,
that would
let's
work.
do that.
Second meeting.
That takes care of it. Thanks, Andrew.
Paid the big bucks. That's why you get paid the big bucks. There you go. Before we adjourn, I'd like to say thank you for Sandra for doing such an excellent job the last couple of years. The investment just jumping up by a lot is based on your hard work of knowing the markets and understanding what's going to happen and getting ahead of it. So I really appreciate what you've done for the county.
Okay.
I agree with Ellen 100%. Thank you for a job well done. The citizens of the county have a lot to thank for.
Okay, at this point, we will not adjourn. We will take a break.
Oh, wait,
No,
yeah.
we have to adjourn this meeting.
Adjourn Board of Finance.
Yeah.
I make a motion to adjourn the Board of Finance.
A We have motion and second. Any comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Now we will take a break.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So for anybody public watching, the executive session is scheduled to start at 11:15. That will not be publicized, and if the commissioners decide to go back into session, it will begin at 12:15.